Hello CPS 350 class. Today I will be going over assignment number 1, which will be going through the process of backmasking, which as you can read here, it goes and takes a sound file and then it reverses the order of it. We will be going and implementing a stack ADT in two common ways, the array and the linked list. To start off, you will implement the stack ADT. You will do the array called array stack and a linked list called list stack. Both the array and the linked list should implement the dstack interface that is given to you. Reverse should work and create backward sound files once you complete the two implementations. You will go and you want to start small and then resize the array to double the size each time it becomes full. That way there are enough elements that, or there's enough room that you can add more elements, but you aren't going and overloading the memory with too many array elements. Both the array stack and the list stack should throw an empty stack exception if pop or peak is called when the stack is empty. And you will be importing that exception into your classes. Your program should also go and work with the reverse class that is given to you by the professor. That class will take 3 arguments, known as command line arguments, and they are used to go and implement your dat file into your program and make sure it runs properly. I will be showing you how to do that here in a little bit. And next, you should go and look at the .dat file format. Make sure it's set up properly. The first column consists of the time measured in seconds when the sample is recorded, and the second column contains the sample between -1 and 1. Now that I've gone and over the assignment very generally and what you're supposed to do, I'm going to go through the code. I'm going to start by going through the list stack, which is your linked list, and I just started by creating the first element in the list. Then you add an item to the list. You go here and check if it's empty. As you can see, it's empty. Checks to see if the linked list is empty or not. Returns true or false, depending on whether it is or not. Here's your push method. It goes and it adds your items to the list. Pop does the exact opposite. It removes the items from the list, and as you can see, it throws the empty stack exception if there is not an item to be popped. Next, you want to go and make a peek method, and the peek method will go and will show you what the element on the list is. It works like pop, however, it won't take it away from the list. It will just go ahead and leave it there. Next, we will be going over the array stack, which is just your array. So you want to go create a new array. I set it initially to a size of 10. You can set it to bigger, but you don't want it too big. You don't want to go and overload it with too many elements to affect the memory. Again, you want an isEmpty method. Check to see if it's empty. And then again, you want to push. You want the array to go and add an element into it, and if it is full, it will actually go and resize the element, or I'm sorry, resize the array if it is full, so that way there is enough room for it to go and be added. And again, you want the pop. You want to go and have an element taken off of the array and returned. And again, peek, very similar. These two, the linked list and the peek, are very similar. They should be. You are testing them for efficiency. They should have the same function. You just want to see what's faster and more effective. That's very important in computer science, and especially in this class, you will learn that. Um, and here, the only different method for the array is the resize, where is if the array gets out of elements, there's no room, it will go ahead and double in size again, so that there are enough elements to add more. Alright, I very generally have gone over the array stack and the list stack. I feel for the most part this isn't too complicated. I feel like for the most part, if you've taken CPS classes in the past, which you will have if you're in CPS 350, this stuff should be doable for you, as well as if you don't understand it, a lot of these methods are inside the book for you to go and look at or generally derive to be able to figure out. And the professor also has some sources. She uses slides that is very helpful to go and figure this out. So you really shouldn't have too much of an issue coming up with this stuff with your previous knowledge and the book and the slides. Now that I've gone over that, I'm going to go and show you how to run it. Right now I'm on the reverse.java file. This should run with your array and your linked list. It takes your .dat file and reverses the output of it. So to start by running it, you should go to Run, and then hit Build Project, and then click on Project Properties. Come down here to the Run tab, and then go into the Arguments. Here, you are going to go and enter in your first one, either the array or the linked list. So you can go type list for a linked list, change it back to array, whichever one you're trying to go and implement or test. Your next argument is, for me, it's in.dat. That is going to be your input file folder, or your input file. Doesn't matter what it's called as long as it is a .dat file. That is where you will be putting in these values, and they don't have to be exactly these values, but these are just some general values that you can go to test. But it should generally follow this .dat file format. And then this last one is going to be the output file, and that is where you are going to go and get the reverse of whatever is in this in.dat file or whatever it's called. Make sure you have quotes around those, and then whenever you're done you can hit OK. Alright, so now I'm going to go and show you my in.dat files and out.dat files. This is my in.dat. I followed the format of how you're supposed to do it that was given to you in the sheet. I didn't fill it out exactly. I just filled out some elements. There are 7 different pairs here, and then as you can notice from this out.dat file that there is no output in there. It's completely blank. So when I go back to my NetBeans, after I had already entered in my command line arguments, and if I hit run, it's going to go and run. Build successful. There are 7 samples in the file. Notice that there were 7 samples that were given to me to the in.dat file. And then when I go and I click to reload, it wants to go and update this file, and it goes and it has the reverse in here. This is one way to check it. I kind of did it a different way just to check it. I did not go through the sound file way. Was a little bit confused with that. I found that this text file was just more straightforward to me and how that worked. But I'm sure if you have any questions with the sound file or downloading as it's given in here, you can go and do that. But that's really it for this project. It's not too hard. You make an array list, or an array and a linked list, and then you go and you put a file into it with the command line arguments, and it gives you the reverse. So that's just a brief overview of the first project that you will be doing. I hope this was helpful in some way.